Hi, and welcome to the Parenting in the Thick of It channel. My name is Louise Clark, your parenting partner, parent coach, and mindfulness coach. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today. I am going to be discussing what you do when your child interrupts you. How do you react? Because last week I had this very thing happen to me. And I wanted to share this story to highlight a point and hopefully help you learn from me. So last week I was sitting at my desk working away. I work at home, and my youngest son came home from school. He can make his own way home. So he came in the front door. I could hear him. He came in and he was so happy and joyful, and just I could tell he was in a great mood. So I was like frantically trying to finish what I was doing, and he came up and he was chatting to me and asking me questions, and I could notice within myself I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated with the fact he was asking me questions and distracting me from my work. So I held this space, and he kept asking, and I ended up being fairly kind of not rude to him, but I was a bit grouchy with him and a bit snippety with him and a bit short with him. And he went from being totally happy about being home to being highly frustrated. And you know what? He had a point. I then went from being totally happy in my work to frustrated. And it would have been very easy for me to have blamed him and said to him, you know, when you can see I'm working, I would really appreciate it if you didn't come in and interrupt me. But then I thought about it, and I thought, hang on a minute. He's come home from school. He knows I'm at home. So he's quite right, I believe, in his assumption that I'm going to be there for him and I will welcome him when he comes in the door. But I didn't do that. I was hijacked by my work, and I was conflicted in what I should stay in. And at the end of the day, I think we have to continue to ask ourselves this question as parents. What does my child need right here, right now? And my son, needed for me to be engaged and connected with him, disconnected from my work. I needed to welcome him and create the space for him. I hadn't seen him all day, and he was excited to be home. And so what I did was I stood up and I said to him, I'm so sorry about me not being that sort of enthusiastic about you being home, and that I was a bit grumpy and grouchy with you. It was not your fault. How were you to know that I was working and caught up in my moment, and I didn't explain it to you? So you were quite within your rights to feel frustrated as well. So we sat down, he accepted my apology. I got him a snack. We had a drink and something to eat. And pretty soon he was off on his merry way and found himself occupied in something else. And I went back to my work and I finished my work. But I think I share it with you because I think for mums that work at home or for stay-at-home mums, I think it's very important for us to know and be aware of the fact that when the kids come home from school, we haven't seen them for a while, and no matter what we're doing, I think it's our responsibility to hold that space for them for when they come in the door. So we're there and we're connected to their needs in the moment. And it's easy. We're so busy. We've got so many things on the go. It's very easy to just kind of go, oh, hey, how was your day at school? Just working, and go back to what we were doing. And the funny thing is, when I do that, I get continually interrupted by them, versus the times where I actually stop what I'm doing, give them what they need. Pretty soon I'm back at my desk and I can be working for half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even another hour. But it's not broken because they understand where I'm at just because I have explained to them what I'm doing. The other thing that this does, which is really important, is it role models that behavior to them. So when they are in the moment and they're doing something, and we go to them and we kind of briskly pull them out of the moment and expect them to just jump to our beck and call, we can't really get upset when they give us exactly the same behavior that we've dealt them perhaps, and they've learnt from us. monkey see, monkey do. They're great imitators, so we need to give them something really good to copy. So discuss this with them and let them know that there are ways of asking, and there's timing where you can see sometimes you have to wait before you ask, and you have to be very creative about how you ask. So go through that with your kids, role model it with them, play with them, discuss it with them. Say, well, how about you say this? Mum, you know what? I'm not quite finished my homework. I just need another 5 minutes. Can you give me 5 minutes? And invariably I can give them 5 minutes. But when I just go in and say, okay, guys, put your stuff away, we need to have dinner. They didn't know that dinner was about to be served. And so they're just reacting to me in the very way that I reacted to him. The other thing that I advise parents to do as well is to work out a way in which to, get your kids' attention and move them on from whatever they're doing to something else that has to be done. What works for me is to always give them a 5 or 10 minute warning. Like say, for example, say, you know what guys, in 5 or 10 minutes we're going to be eating, so try and wind down what you're doing. And then when they haven't wound down what they're doing, because that's what kids do, I go over to them and I sit down beside them and I say, hey, dinner's ready. And they sometimes go, okay, sorry, Mum, you did tell us. And they put their stuff down and they come and they help set the table or do whatever. Or they go, you know what, I'm not quite finished, I just need a minute. If that's the case, I sit with them while they take their minute. Because I know if I move away and I leave them, then they don't move on from it after a minute. So I stay with them, and when the minute's up, they put it away and we go to the next thing together. So I move them through it together. When I do that, it works really well. So it's really important for us to role model our behavior, role model the behavior that we want to see them develop so they can copy us. And then they can learn and acquire the skills to be able to interrupt someone respectfully, to be able to say, excuse me, Mum, I know you're busy, but I really need something quickly. Or, Mum, I know you're busy. When you're finished, can you come and help me with my homework? So give them ideas, give them ways in which they can craft their words so that they are respectful in their asking, and help them recognize that there are times in life where you just have to wait. And kids are so present and in the now that they don't realize that, there's times where they're so in it that when they move into the next thing, they want the instant gratification there as well. So it takes time to learn that, and I think we can be a bit flexible with how we role model that to them and help them acquire the skills they're going to need to be able to develop this really essential skill for life. So if you have any questions, do drop me an email. You can always contact me at louise@yourparentingpartner.com. Or you can go over to my website and check out all my blogs. I actually have a blog post coming out very soon on this topic, so you'll be able to get more ideas from that, and check out other blogs as well. They're all in categories. So if you perhaps have a problem with your kids not listening, there's a category on that, or kids being on their devices, there's a category on that as well. You can also head over to my Facebook page if you're a Facebook user and join my free parent coaching community called the Conscious Parent Community. I'd love to see you there. And if you are someone who likes to listen to podcasts rather than watch videos, or you like to do a bit of both, don't forget you can catch my podcast as well. It's also called Parenting in the Thick of It. For now, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.